Hello, everyone. I'm Sheldon St. Clair, and I will begin the session now. Okay, so yeah, so thanks very much for joining the Skool group. Just to give you some background, some context in terms of who I am and kind of like why I've set up the Skool community. Yeah, so I've been in the project management field for over 20 years now, and I've been contracted or freelancing for most of that time, primarily working in the project management field. Sorry, the PMO field in terms of designing PMOs, building PMOs, operating PMOs, working in a PMO. And I've also managed projects as well, mainly in the financial services industry, but also designing and building plants, factories. So, yeah, whether in the UK, Bulgaria, wherever. So probably about 2019, well, probably 2021 or 2020, I'm not quite sure. I started kind of coming across AI. So this is before ChatGPT. So this is kind of like using Jarvis and some of the other kind of products. And I primarily use that for my business in terms of producing content, whether it's emails, whether it's emails, kind of like writing blogs, or helping me to write blogs, articles, and various things like that. And probably in the last couple of years, I've been using it to help me control, manage, and deliver projects. Now, it's my belief that an AI tool, whether we want to call it ChatGPT or whether we call it an AI assistant, an AI agent, an AI helper. Sorry, someone was coming on the call. Bear with me. Okay. Brilliant. Okay, let me start it down. Yeah. So yeah, so I believe that in the same way that AI tools are operational and working and be used by people in the legal profession, in the marketing profession, in the sales professions, in all other professions kind of in an organization, project managers will increasingly rely upon these tools to help them deliver projects, and PMOs will rely on these tools to help them analyze data, produce decks, PowerPoint decks, and help them out in their day-to-day work. So, and I've been using these tools extensively in an organization that I've kind of I worked for 7-8 months with success in it as well. So yeah, and I think I created a Skool community probably a couple of months ago, and it's really about kind of sharing the insight, sharing the knowledge, sharing the prompts, and sharing kind of like other hints and tips and techniques that I believe may be of value, may be a benefit to project managers. So, oh yeah, so I think there was kind of a couple of people kind of calling from the US. I'm based in the UK, based in London, and I've worked kind of all over the country really, and I've worked overseas as well, delivering PMOs. Some people that are in the PMO industry, you would have heard of an annual competition called, what's it called? The PMO Global Alliance, that was set up and developed and run by, I don't remember his name now. His first name is Amerigo. He's based out in Brazil. So I've kind of worked as I was one of there's been one of the judges in his annual kind of competition for a couple of years, and his organization, PMO Global Alliance, I think they've been bought up by PMI, and I think they're working together to produce a PMO guide, and I and a number of other PMO people were invited to be reviewers of one of the drafts. I mean, it's a 270-page document. So I think that event took place during August. And I think during December or what have you, I think they're looking to, well, the PMI, well, sorry, PMI, Project Management Institute, for those who aren't aware of it, are looking to launch it. So yeah, so I like all things project management, in particular, I like all things PMO as well. So what I'd like to do today is to demonstrate a PMO GPT, a PMO AI assistant that I kind of created. And I just wanted to kind of like go through it with you and use some prompts as well that I created to accompany the GPT. So I've created a number of GPTs for business analysts and for project managers, both commercial project managers and tech project managers as well. Okay, so without further ado, yeah, so why a GPT? Why not just use ChatGPT or one of the LLMs within Poe, like Claude, like Perplexity, like Poe, and the offerings, I think Gemini as well, and the offerings from Google or Facebook or what have you. I view something like ChatGPT, a large language model. I view that, and this is what I've kind of shared in a couple of the workshops that I've kind of like done. I view it as a big library full of books. Effectively, it's full of data. You know, OpenAI, who developed ChatGPT, effectively kind of scoured the internet for articles, for URLs, for information content. So it's a large library. And we, as the kind of like the prompter, the user, the visitor to say to ChatGPT, we're approaching this library and we're saying to the library assistant, I want a book about X. Now, the assistant, if you can imagine it, the assistant's library assistant has got a lot of data behind them. And if you're saying, okay, I want information about risk management and mitigation strategies, it's got a lot of data to pull through. But if you kind of like build a GPT that is kind of like refined and finessed from a project management perspective, it will say, fine, okay, let me go to my kind of like my library of books, and I'll look at risk. I'll look for documentation and information about risk management, for an example, that pertain to a project manager, as opposed to a marketeer or a venture capitalist or someone that works in Wall Street or in the Bank of England. So you will get your source data, your source information can be honed down, can be refined, can be restricted based on the role or the character that you are, that you kind of like use to you ask the librarian for information. So GPTs or AI assistants, if you're able to develop it according to a particular role, you'll get better information than if you just you're going to ChatGPT to say, give me this. So that's kind of like why GPTs are quite kind of sophisticated. And also, if you build your own GPT, you can actually instruct it on how the information should be presented to you, whether you want information which is concise, whether you want information in bullet point format, whether you want information in a table format. You can actually instruct it to behave in a particular way. So that's kind of like another benefit through building your own AI assistant as opposed to using ChatGPT. You can do that all in ChatGPT because I've done it. You're asking a question, and it gives you the answer, and then you adjust it. You'll say, okay, then focus on this item, focus on that item, give me more information about something else, shorten it, expand it, give it to me in a table format. You can do all that within ChatGPT at the moment. I've done it myself, but you've got to provide it further instructions to do it. And even the initial instruction that you give it, for instance, when I kind of first started using ChatGPT, my instructions are quite kind of like linear. Yeah, do this, do that. But then over time, my prompts, my instructions within ChatGPT became more sophisticated, where it became almost like a mini program or a mini essay. So, but by building your own kind of GPT, a lot of that information, you can put that into the GPT itself, and you're refining, you're developing, you're shaping its behavior. How does it accept the information? How does it process the information? How does it output the information? Okay, so without further ado, let me share my screen and then kind of like let me show you the GPT. Share screen. Oh, brilliant. Okay. Right, okay, so the GPT is called the PMO Setup Navigator. Let me move this over here. Yeah, so it guides users through the process of setting up a project management office by providing tailored advice, tailored guidance, resources, and support aligned with PMO methodologies and best practice. So that's kind of like the description of this this GPT, this AI assistant, AI assistant, and that's kind of like some of the training behind it. So if you click on kind of like let's begin, so that's just basically a conversation starter. But by doing that, it kind of like it can provide output. So you want to say get this in a ChatGPT or a Poe or Claude tool. So welcome to PMO Setup Maestro, your expert assistant for establishing a successful project management office. How can I assist you today? Okay, so whenever you press let's begin, that's what you kind of like get. So let me get a prompt that I kind of like, and you can talk to it. Yeah. And I've got a number of prompts that kind of effectively allows you or enables you to create your own PMO. We're going to go through about 3 or 4 of them today. So I think that is excellent. Okay, so the first prompt is, can you guide me through the initial steps of establishing a PMO in my organization? Yeah, and then you click on. Okay, so this is kind of like the start of the response. I'm happy to guide you through the initial steps of establishing it, and here are the key steps you'll want to follow. So let me click on this. Okay, so the first thing is assessing the current environment. So understanding the needs, evaluating existing project management practices, and engage with stakeholders. I've kind of like the PMO methodology that I tend to use is called the PMO value ring, and that was developed by Amerigo within the PMO Global Alliance. I don't know whether any of you heard of that, but effectively what it kind of starts off with is engage with the stakeholders to find out what benefits they would want or they would expect from the PMO, and then developing the processes around it. Yeah, because lots of PMOs are really elegant, they're well set up, but then they stop being used, or what the data suggests, it stops being used, or within 3 to 5 years it's shut down. So I think the approach that the value chain methodology takes is, okay, if we can establish what benefits they want, and then build the functions and processes to support those benefits, then you're more likely to get engagement from the business. Yeah, I'm not saying that's the methodology. Well, that isn't the methodology that I'm using here straight off the bat, but some elements of that is incorporated in this GPT. So you're assessing the current environment, you're defining the objectives and the value proposition, you're determining the structure, what type of PMO are you looking to set up. And again, with all these, you can go into the prompt and you can ask it to explain what do we mean by a supportive PMO. Please provide examples of that. You can say, okay, my PMO is X. This is the culture of an organization. What sort of PMO would best fit this organization? You know, what best of this is the culture of the organization. These are certain personalities within the organization. What PMO can will suit that, and this GPT, this AI assistant, will provide that information to you. So yeah, so point 3, determining the structure, creating the charter, developing the PMO processes and tools, engaging with the stakeholders and securing buy-in, adjusting for ongoing governance and improvement. Yeah. Okay, so basically, in answer to the question, can you kind of like guide me through initial steps? This is what it's given you, and I say you can expand upon that. Okay, the next prompt I will use. Let me stop sharing for now, in order to get that information. So I've got a list of basically 30 prompts. so yeah. Let me stop sharing. I think what I will do, I'll kind of grab the prompts that I'm interested in, create a new document. Yeah, okay, I'll do that. Yeah, so I'm not wasting anybody's time. So let me go back to here. Let me share my screen again. Okay, so therefore the second prompt is, let's begin by drafting a PMO charter. What key components should it include? Now, in the PMO field, we've all developed project charters, and we all know the kind of like the process of, okay, what does the organization currently use in terms of templates? Have I got a template that I've used in another organization that I can kind of like I can deploy? Do I need to create a new PMO? So what you can use here, you can basically draft one, get one to draft it for you, or get the AI system to draft one for you. And again, you can provide information about the type of organization you're in. So it will take that information and kind of like incorporate that into the structure and the layout and the format of the PMO charter. And again, these are drafts. Yeah. So yeah, so it provides information about it. And so here's a key breakdown. Yeah. In terms of executive summary, in terms of mission and vision statements, objectives and goals, scope of the PMO, and it provides information as well. Governance structure. Yeah, so again, kind of like a lot of you who are kind of like, used to establishing PMOs, but again, with something like ChatGPT or something like this tool, it saves you time. What I kind of like did in my previous organization, when we kind of had a meeting about creating what document were we creating? It was a scoping document. That was it. It was a scoping document for a new project. So effectively, I had a meeting, recorded it. I think nowadays everything's recorded. Beforehand, it was basically you had you had to invite somebody in to take notes and minutes, or you took minutes yourself. But now everything's recorded. So therefore you can use Teams or what have you, record the meeting, get the transcript, convert the transcript to a PDF or a doc file, upload the document into the tool you're using, and basically have a prompt that basically says, take this and put it into a PMO and put it into a scoping document for me, a draft document. And you may have created your own scoping document template, and basically says, take this information and put it into this template, and it will do it. You've got a draft, and then kind of like within a couple of hours, you can pass it around for input and for updates. I've done that, and I do that, and it saves so much time. I've produced charters where it's taken days and weeks to produce a charter and to get the sign off. And everyone was comfortable with the timescale. Yeah, taking 2 weeks to produce a PMO charter, or 2 or 3 weeks to produce a resource process document, not a big deal. That's how long it took. But with these sort of tools, it takes you days now. It takes you hours and days to produce something, and that's the value that AI is giving to the project management industry. It saves so much time in terms of the productivity. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, so in terms of the PMO, in terms of the PMO charter, you've got the questions, you've got the chapters, the kind of like the H1, the H2, H3, and you can ask it for examples based on, you may kind of feed some information in about the projects that you're working on, and say, okay, based on these projects that I'm working on, produce a sample PMO structure for me. You may kind of like have created a previous document called PMO principles, and it says, okay, then use this as guidelines and guidelines to use in producing and creating the PMO charter. Okay, so you've got functions and services, key stakeholders and roles. So it can provide, and you can ask it to provide project examples of PMO stakeholders. Yeah, so this is a kind of like fairly standard. Oh, sorry, I haven't tried this particular instruction before. So I've given you an outline of your charter document. Yeah, and then you may also, as I say, you could say, give me an example. Okay, so let me look at. The conscious we've got 5 minutes left, so kind of like whiz through. Okay. How do I define the vision, mission, and objectives for our PMO? This is kind of like really your PMO principles for your organization. So again, you can tweak that prompt, you can tweak that instruction with information or particulars about the unique characteristics of your organization. It was taking a long while to do that, actually. Yeah. So sometimes kind of like I find that some PMOs don't necessarily know the difference between a mission and a vision and objectives and goals. Yeah. So certainly when you're putting together documents for project managers to complete, again, your documents may kind of have examples within each of the sections to explain, this is what I mean by this is what I mean by that. So certainly when I can produce some draft templates, I try and put examples in there. So the project manager in completing the template knows what's expected in that. So you've got the vision statement, you've got examples of a vision statement that you can use. Some mission statement, again, examples, objectives, then examples. Oh yeah, then it's got like a broader example as well. And you've got tips. Yeah. So again, the way that I've shaped this AI assistant is to provide information like this. hints and tips. Yeah, and again at the end, you've got kind of like follow-on questions. Would you like help in drafting specific ones tailored to your organization's unique needs? Tell me about your, let me know about your organizational priorities and what challenges are, and we can refine them together. So again, that's come out from the GPT I've created. I've kind of like put in instructions where it provides follow-on questions. We call it chain of thought in the prompt world. I have got certificates in prompt engineering, and so that's helped in developing this PMO. Sorry, in developing this GPT. And then the final one for this evening is this one here. So let's kind of let's put that in there. Okay, help me develop an implementation roadmap for our PMO over the next 6 to 12 months. Let's move that. Okay, so initiation and planning, assessing the organizational needs, defining the vision and the mission, key stakeholders, identify the key stakeholders, framework. Okay, so it's trundling through. Yeah. So yeah, so it's basically kind of like trundling through, providing you with a timescale. If you had to produce a PMO in a month, you can feed that in. You can feed that in. Oops. Yeah, if it was the next 2 to 3 months, you can kind of like you can feed that in. You can amend this prompt. I think you can amend it here actually. So yeah, you can actually edit the message. So if kind of like instead of over the next 6 to 12 months, you basically said, okay, 6 to 9 months instead, it will basically not overwrite because you've still got the original one there, but it will give you another roadmap in a shorter time scale. Yeah. So I think, yes, I think we're finishing now. So yeah, so I hope you have kind of like found let's widen up. Yeah, so I hope you have kind of like found this session kind of useful. If there's any other videos you want me to do, then please let me know. If kind of there are articles or items or topics that you want me to explore in the Skool community, again, kind of like let me know as well. As I say, it's my mission to share this marvelous apparatus, this marvelous framework. I feel that it will relieve anxiety that as project management professionals we all face: anxiety, frustrations, challenges, pain points, and pain points, and get us to love what it is we do and the reason why we have been in this industry. So thank you very much. I'm Sheldon St. Clair, and enjoy the rest of your day. Okay, bye for now.